Alright, guys. Just got off work a little early. Ooh, it was raining. It's not no more. So let's do the Monday Night Football review, huh? So Pittsburgh Steelers versus New York Giants. I thought I shut those off. I guess I didn't. I'm tired. I had a big night. It was a long, long night, but got off a couple hours early. So let's get this review done. So, Pittsburgh Steelers, New York Giants. My thoughts about the game were the Giants are still a hot mess, and the Steelers are still not able to move the ball effectively. Same thing that was going on with Justin Fields. They have a lack of ability to get into the end zone. I'm going to break down what I thought about the New York Giants first, and we'll go with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Danny Dimes and Slayton seem to be fixing their relationship. Obviously, Napers is out there. They have a really good offensive unit. Their O-line is absolute garbage. They were getting shredded all night. Hightower, in the first quarter, Hightower hit Daniel Jones twice, 2 plays in a row, and I mean he could have depleted him twice. It was terrible. They weren't helping against Hightower or T.J. Watt. It was terrible. But Danny Dimes seemed to be able to throw the ball very well. He did hit Slayton a couple of times very good. They got Napers involved. Robinson. No, it wasn't Robinson. It was McCady, something like that. One of the running backs for the Giants was doing great. They were able to score the ball. It was a field goal game there for the first half, but the Giants lost the game because the inability to move the ball and inability to block. They can't block for Daniel Jones. And when Daniel Jones had time, he hit everybody. He was hitting everybody. He did great. But the problem is he doesn't have any time at all. And that team is in shambles. Their coach is doing whatever he can, but they're making a lot of mental mistakes, a lot of mistakes that should have been not made in that game. A lot of penalties, that was going on for the Giants, and that was a big thing of why they lost that game too. They were playing behind the sticks a lot, and it led in the situation they were in. They were in a lot of long situations. Let T.J. Watt and Hightower make pressure. Cam Hayward making pressure. So, their offense is really pitiful. It's pitiful. Their offensive line blocking is pitiful, and the Giants as a whole are pitiful. They aren't going to fix this until next season. They're going to have flashes of brilliance, but until they can get Daniel Jones protected, they are screwed. They're the weakest team in their division, and they are one of the weakest teams in football. In contrary, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Same thing that was going on with Justin Fields is going on with Russell Wilson. They have an inability to get the ball into the end zone offensively. They can get field goals. They got 1 touchdown tonight. If you look at the score, there was only 1 offensive touchdown scored. The other one was a punt return, which was actually the same guy who caught the touchdown pass. I don't remember. His name's Austin. Last name's Austin. I don't remember exactly who it is. I think he's a younger player. Small, quick, agile player. He got a good ball from Russell Wilson. The only difference between Russell Wilson and Justin Fields is that the offense is a little bit more wide open with Russell Wilson. He throws the ball deep, and he's got the rainbow shot for a football. It's drops right in the breadbasket. Honestly, they could have had two touchdowns, but Pickens had an incompletion because Barnes knocked it out. Well, he forced him out. He only got 1 foot down in bounds. So there's definitely a good connection between Russell Wilson and Pickens, and in that offense in general. The only one that I see who's not producing now is Freiermuth, which is weird because when Justin was playing, Freiermuth had more yards than now. But it was the same thing in Seattle. Russell just never been a tight end guy. Never has been. Walt Disney had like a 5-game stretch where he was doing great. That he never really had a good tight end. He had Jimmy Graham in Seattle, but I mean, he wasn't putting in like all-world numbers or anything like that. But Najee Harris running the ball well, and Warren was running the ball very well. Najee Harris looked like a man possessed today. Najee Harris had a drive. Warren had a possession where he was just running over that defense. And that defense is no slouch. Like the Giants' defense is good. They have a good, solid defense. They have an inability to stop anybody. They can't stop anybody because their offense. Oh, is the road closed? Oh Jesus! Oh, road closed. Why is the road closed? Is the road really closed? Yeah, it is. Well, looks like I'm going the long way, boys. The Giants' defense, led by Lawrence, is a great defense. You know, it's a really, really good defense. It's really able to get some pressure on quarterbacks, able to cover receivers. But the problem is they're on the field probably 75% of the game. You can't win like that. You can't win. And then the inability to get the ball into the end zone was another thing. You know, you got to be able to get Neighbors and Slayton involved to get them in the end zone. You got to be able to get the running backs involved to get them in the end zone. And it was two teams that can't do that. In contrary, you know, the Pittsburgh Steelers, I think their offense is actually opening up now, and Russell Wilson's able to do a lot more things than Fields was, because Fields is just not a confident passer. I like what Mike Tomlin said, though. He said they have to retrain Fields. He said that a couple weeks ago, and he's right. He's right. They do. They need to retrain Fields, and with him learning from Russ, as much as the bad reputation that Russ has, Russ is a good quarterback. Russ is a really good quarterback, and he can do a lot of good things for an organization when put in the right situation. He's got to have a good run game. He's got to have some good receivers. Van Jefferson, Austin, and Pickens are good. Freiermuth, the tight end's good, and that Darnell Washington, that giant of a man, is good. And it's a good team. It's a good team to be around. But the Pittsburgh Steelers defense is going to keep them in games. Defense wins championships, and that's why they won tonight. The first half of the game was kicking field goals, because they couldn't get in the end zone. But the Pittsburgh Steelers defense really, I think, if their offense could actually produce at a high caliber level, their defense would be one of the number one defenses in the league. But there's times where you're going 3 and out, and the defense has to come right back out. And even though T.J. Watt is a freaking monster, you know, the man needs a break. Sorry, I'm yawning. But overall, what I took away from that game was, you know, Pittsburgh's a good team, and they're going to be in the thick of it in the AFC North, and they're going to be right there with Baltimore and Cincinnati. Even though what I said about Cincinnati in the previous video, how they're like this, they got to figure themselves out. Baltimore and the Steelers are going to be leading the AFC North 110%. With Mike Tomlin leading that team, Arthur Smith doing offensive coordinator, and obviously everyone knows how the defense is going. That team is so good. And if their offense is going to start opening up, like how I seen it today, how the run game came along, Warren added his own little thing in the backfield where he could be a power back. Najee Harris is running like man possessed. And if that offense starts producing points, the Steelers are going to go deep in the playoffs. And I can say that with confidence because Russell Wilson is a Super Bowl winning quarterback and also a Super Bowl losing quarterback. But he has experience in the playoffs, and he's clutch, and he can throw a good ball. So that was what I'm taking away from the Pittsburgh Steelers side. And the takeaway from the Giants side is don't expect much else the rest of the season. It's just how it is. The Commanders and the Eagles and the Cowboys are going to rule that division. The Giants are going to come in dead last. That's just how that is. But if the Steelers keep winning and the offense starts opening up like it is, they could be a top 8 team in the league. But as you guys can tell, I am tired. I am ready for bed. And that's where I'm going to head. So I'm almost pulling home. Glad I got this video out. I'm trying to be consistent, like I said. So I hope you guys have a good night, good day. And yeah, rest up, eat well, get your goals done. All right. Beat.